Hello and namaste. I'm Emily Plochet, founder of the Collective, and this is your somatic practice for feeling empowered. I've put together a really beautiful practice for you, and I'm excited, and I'll tell you just a little bit about it. So, feeling empowered comes from having stable foundation. We feel rooted, we feel supported, and then we get connected to our power center. Power center is core. But we also have to be able to be open and be able to breathe full deep breaths in the lungs, have connection to the solar plexus, which is the seat and the strength of our power, and then connection to the heart space, because feeling empowered is also about feeling love, compassion, and kindness for ourselves and others. And then the next step of empowered is connecting to the throat, the seat of our voice, our ability to feel connected to our strength, stability, power, love, and then to voice that or to express that. Whether you express yourself through art, through dancing, through writing, or just through your interaction with others every day, this is the class that will help you to physically connect to all those centers in your body, as well as energetically, mentally, and emotionally. So, what you'll need is a wide open space to lie down. If you're on a hard floor, spread out a nice thick blanket. If your blanket's kind of on the thin side, slide your sticky mat underneath the blanket. That'll stop it from sliding around a little bit. If you're on carpet, even better. You don't need to put a mat down or anything. You can just slide and move around your carpet. Go ahead and lie down on your backs. Today's practice is going to have a little bit of everything, but with some emphasis on freeing up the upper back, the heart space, and the shoulders. We'll let your arms and legs spread out. Allow your eyes to come to a close. And let's just first check in with what is. The sense of sight takes up 70% of your brain's bandwidth, so to speak. So when we close the eyes, we all of a sudden have a lot more brain space to noticing. This is one reason why a lot of people have difficult time meditating or finding stillness, because all of a sudden their brain is freed up and they don't know what to do with it. So this is really good training because we're going to move. But first I want you to just take a mental snapshot of how you're feeling today. First, how you're feeling physically. Just notice sensations of aliveness flow through your body, tingles, pulsations, warmth, coolness, heaviness, lightness, dullness, sharpness, pleasant, neutral, and even not pleasant sensations. Just letting it all be there. Whole field of consciousness. Notice if you brought a mood in with you today. Don't judge it, just acknowledge. Hello, mood. I see you. Makane iwa. And then just notice your mental quality. You feeling energized or anxious mind, balanced somewhere in the middle, or sluggish. Just acknowledging and noticing, see what shifts by the end of this practice. Okay, so movements are going to start small, but just know there's so much power in the subtlety. This practice is all about feeling, not doing, sensing, okay? Flex your feet, curl your toes up and back towards your shins. And I want you to bring your awareness to your right heel and then your left heel. And notice how they're even. And if there was a finish line, they're both just waiting to go past the finish line. Neither one of them is past it yet. And now from your right Achilles tendon, I want you to push your right heel a little further past that finish line. Oh, right heel wins. No, wait. You didn't quite get there. The left heel's catching up now. Can you push the left heel out past the right? Good. From your Achilles tendon, from your ankle, pushing the right heel forward, and then the left. Really small movement. You can feel the skin, the muscles, the fascia on the sole of your foot, the back of your ankle wake up. Spread your toes. And now the next time you push one heel forward, extend from the back of your knee. So now a little bit more of your leg is getting involved in this push and pull. Extending from the back of the knee, one heel forward, and then the other. Just notice muscles, fascia, skin, the back of your calf and the back of your knee waking up. And now let's add some hip power. So the next time you push one heel forward, push from that hip. Let that hip slide down while the other hip kind of hikes up towards your shoulder, and then switch and push the opposite hip through all the way to the heel. Good. And going from side to side. So you're not lifting your hips away from the floor, you're sliding them one past the other, letting the whole leg and heel slide forward. Now notice the sensations you're feeling. The sacroiliac joint is getting some movement and a wake up, all those muscles that tend to get stuck. You can feel your abdominal muscles, your abdominal organs, getting a little rinse and a squeeze and a lengthen one side and then the other. So good as you reach through one, extending and opening the ascending colon and then the descending colon. So good. Now release. Just pause for a moment. Find stillness. Notice how you feel sensation in all those parts of your body that were just moving. Tingling, pulsations, aliveness, increased blood flow and prana going to those places, nourishing. Take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale it out of your mouth. We're going to do an arm movement, and then we'll put these two together. So I want you to slide one shoulder down and the other shoulder up by your ear. Good. And then switch. The other shoulder slides up by your ear and the other shoulder slides down. And try not to lift your shoulder or your arms away from the floor. Let them be heavy. Super heavy. Feel how gravity is just weighing them down. And just sliding. One up, one down. Feel the sensation along the top of your shoulder, the back of your shoulder as your skin slides along the floor. Notice if you have restricted range of motion in one shoulder, or maybe one moves a little different, or maybe one doesn't really slide, maybe it tries to skip on water like a stone does. Good. The next time one shoulder slides up by your ear, side bend your head as if you're trying to bring your ear to touch your shoulder and your shoulder to touch your ear as the other shoulder goes down. Good, and then switch. Side bend your head, ear towards the other shoulder. Sliding from side to side. And as you side bend, really reach or slide that opposite shoulder down. So stretching the muscles in the top of the side of the neck. Good. Now we're going to see if we can add that leg movement to this. So the next time you side bend your ear to your shoulder, reach that same side heel away. So let's say if you're side bending towards your left shoulder, then your left hip and heel pushes away. Right hip hikes up. Good. And then switch. So your ear is bending towards the lifting shoulder. That same side leg and heel is sliding away. Once you get the motion, just feel the whole body sliding, undulating, releasing, compressing, moving energy. Good. And release. And pause. And let's wait, watch, and listen. Feel how you're not moving anymore, but you feel movement within. Flow of energy, tingling. So good. Take a deep breath in and let it go out of your mouth. Good. Bend your right knee, bringing the sole of your right to the floor, right foot. Left leg is still straight, arms out to the side. And now internally rotate your right knee, or in other words, let your right knee kind of knock in to the left, so it kind of crosses over your left thigh. And it's almost like you rolled to the inside edge of your figure skate on the right foot. So you're on the inner edge of your foot, big toe pad, inner heel. The outer edge, the pinky toe edge of your right foot is lifted. And now push that inner edge of your foot into the floor. You'll feel your outer right hip slowly start to lift away from the floor. Go ahead and arch your back, take a breath in. And exhale, slowly lower down. And your knee points back up to the ceiling. Good again, internally rotate your leg, rolling to the inside edge of the foot. Push your foot into the floor. Outer hip rotates up, arch your back, inhale. And exhale, lower down. Good, moving with your breath now. Just notice sensation in the body. Notice where you feel a stretch, release, and engagement. Notice the rotation and the twist in your spine. Good, one more. Holding it at the top. Breathe. 3, 2, and then super slow motion, lower back down. Take 20 seconds to lower. And release your right leg long. Just pause for a moment. Close your eyes. Notice what's shifted on that one side that hasn't shifted on the other side yet. Let's do that on the other side. Bend your left knee. Sole of your left foot flat. Internally rotate your left leg, rolling to the inside edge of your foot. Push that edge of your foot into the floor, allowing the left hip to rotate up. Arch your back, inhale. And exhale nice and slow. Rotate your hip back down, knee pointing up. And now moving with your breath, internally rotate, arch, inhale, and exhale. Your pace. Notice sensation on this side. Notice any differences in range of motion and sensation on this side. Observing the twist and rotation across your spine. So good for releasing stuck tension and energy. Freeing up all that space around your power center, the ribs, the mid-back, the belly, the low back. And holding this last one, breathing for 3 and 2, and then release. Coming back to center, slide your arms down by your side, relax your legs. Let's pause, wait, watch, listen, notice, and feel. And take a breath in, let it go. Bend your knees. Relax your arms by your side. Actually, let's interlace hands behind the head, elbows wide. This movement's going to be very subtle. I want you to press just one elbow down into the floor, just one, and then relax it. And then press the other elbow into the floor, and then relax it. Moving from side to side, slow, slow. Just observe muscles turn on in your upper back, shoulder muscles. Notice if your shoulder muscles turn on evenly. Are they a little different? Notice if other parts of your body move. Good, now let's do both shoulders at the same time. Press them into the floor, feeling the shoulder blades, the scapula squeeze a little closer together, and then soften. And then press down and squeeze, and then soften. Good, one more. Press down and squeeze. Lift your chin towards the ceiling. Arch your back, so bringing space underneath your low back as you tilt your tailbone towards the floor. Press your elbows down. Feel the muscles all along your spine engaging. Breathe into your lungs and ribs, and then release. Good. Now hug your elbows in by your ears. Squeeze your forearms around your forehead. Curl up off the ground. Round your tailbone off the ground. Good. And then lie back. Elbows wide. Press your elbows into the floor. Lift your chin. Arch your back. Breath into the heart space. And exhale, curl the tailbone off the floor around your spine. Forearms in. Moving with your breath now. Feeling, observing how you're engaging the muscles on one side of the body as you stretch the opposite. And then reversing that as you change the motion. Good, one more. And then release. Relax your arms by your side. Pause for a moment. Just notice. Tingles, pulsations, release. And take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale it out of your mouth. Interlace your hands behind your head once again. This time, keeping the elbows on the floor, I want you to slide your left elbow to the wall behind your head and your right elbow down by your ribs. And then slide back up through the center and switching. Now your right elbow to the wall behind your head, left elbow down by your ribs, and then slide back up. Moving from side to side, you can inhale or exhale as you side bend, and then inhale or exhale as you come back through center. You can decide which one you inhale and exhale on, but just linking your breath with the movement. Sometimes I like to do the inhale, sometimes the exhale. And now I want you to try to let your head and arms be heavy and sliding against the floor. Instead of a stone skipping on the water's edge, slide. And that's going to make your body recruit more of those spinal stabilizer muscles, muscles in the side ribs. And think of slithering, very primitive movement like a snake. Good. Come back through center, pause, feel the release, feel the sensations. We'll do a little hip movement and then combine these two. Now think Shakira again, or belly dancing. I want you to, that might have been another class I mentioned Shakira, but you'll get the reference in a moment. Slide your left hip down. Actually, push your left knee forward. keeping your foot on the floor as you slide your left hip down. And now push your right knee forward, pressing into the right foot as your right hip slides down. And then push the left knee and hip forward, and then the right knee and hip forward, and then the left, and then the right. So it's a little hip shimmy, and your knees are kind of moving along to give your hips space. So maybe now you get the belly dancer Shakira reference. Let's add this to the arm movement. The next time that you slide your left knee and hip down, slide your left elbow away. So it's a big side body stretch, and you end up curling your right elbow and hip in towards each other, and then switch. Good. Curling. Left elbow and hip in towards each other as the right elbow and hip slide away. And now moving from side to side. Inhale, perhaps as you bend, and exhale as you move through center. Good. Again, heavy head and arms. Sliding, slithering like a snake. Loosening up a lot of that stuckness. Freeing up so much space in the back, the ribs, power center. These are really subtle movements, but you can imagine how you might be a little sore the next day. Very good for slowly and expertly strengthening the spinal stabilizers in the core, bringing length to the body. Go ahead and release your arms, release your legs long. Let's pause. Notice. Feel sensation. And take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale it out of your mouth. Here's another subtle one, but it's really good for freeing up the shoulders. If you're having any issues with your shoulders, this is very good. So bring your awareness to your left shoulder blade, and without lifting it away from the floor, start to slide it in a circular motion. And it's not going to feel so circular at first. It'll feel kind of jerky. But sliding your shoulder blade up, down, and around. Try not to move the rest of your body. See if you can slow it down. Good. Now switch directions. Same shoulder, but if you were going clockwise, go counterclockwise or vice versa. To feel all those shoulder muscles having to work together and coordinate. It's like they're a baton relay team, passing the baton from one to the other as the shoulder goes around. Good. Now release that shoulder. Pause in the middle. Feel sensation on that one side. Notice all that space you freed up, fresh blood and energy moving and circulating around. Let's do the same to the other side. We're going to start moving the other side in a circular motion. Slow it down. Have some patience. Sliding rather than lifting away from the floor. And then switching directions. Good for 3. And 2. And 1. Release. Ooh, feel the release on that side, the tingling, fresh energy and blood, nourishment. Take a deep breath in and exhale it out of your mouth. You might notice more of a connection to your heart center, your solar plexus now. I do. Bring up those energetic pathways and connection to the seat of our power, our heart. Good. This one's going to start off subtle, and then we'll take it into a bigger movement. So I want you to imagine that you've got wads of sticky gum underneath your left arm. You're trying to lift your left arm off the floor, but it's really sticky. It's hard to lift it. Oh, you've got it lifted about 1/2 inch now, maybe 3/4 of an inch max. Hold it for a second, and then just as slowly release it back down to the ground. Good. Now you've got wads of sticky gum underneath your right arm and you're trying to pry it off the floor, but it's heavy, it's hard to do. And now you've got it about 1/2 inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch. Hold it there. Notice the sensation in your arm. And then nice and slow, just as slow, release it back down. On your own, moving from side to side. Let your descent and your release be just as slow as it took you to pry your arm with all that gum off the ground. And start to notice how other muscles in your body are working to stabilize all across your core, your chest, your back, even your legs. Notice if both sides are even or if one kind of moves a little differently, or if one side feels stronger. That would be normal. Don't worry. And go ahead and release. Pause in the center for a moment. Feel that increased connection from your heart, your solar plexus, out to your arms. One of the ways that we express ourselves, connect and share with the world. Empowered. Okay, and connect this to a bigger movement with the legs. Bend both knees. Bring your feet a little bit wider than hip width distance. Good. And now drop both knees off to the left. So this is similar to that one-legged movement we did earlier. You're rolling to the outside edge, pinky toe edge of your left foot and inner edge of your right foot. And now push the blade edges of your feet into the floor. Feel your outer right hip rotate off the floor. Arch your back. Take a breath in. And exhale as you move back through the center. Knees point back up to the ceiling. Just doing the legs for now, okay? Rotate your knees to the right. Pressing the edges of your feet into the floor. Let the outer left hip lift. Arch your back. Take a breath in. And exhale. Good. Let's just move from side to side here. This is a lot of rotation and movement and opening for the back, the hips, the psoas, the quadratus muscles. So just feeling and moving and breathing with that before we add and complicate the movement. Now the next time that you rotate your knees to the right, turn your head to the left. Just adding a turn of the head for this one. Inhale and exhale back through center. Rotating knees to the left, turn your head in the opposite direction of the knees to the right. Inhale and exhale. Good. Moving this way for another couple rounds. Notice what's shifted as we're moving this rotation all the way up the spine. The whole spine is rotating. Ringing the spine and all the organs along it. So good. Now the next time your knees rotate to the right and you turn your head to the opposite direction, like you got sticky gum underneath that left arm, slowly try to lift it and let it lift. Inhale and exhale. Knees rotate to the left, head turns to the right. Pry your right arm off the floor. Inhale and exhale. Good, you got it. Moving with your breath at your pace now. Just notice what this changed. What's waking up now? Good. Go ahead and release. Release your legs long, release your arms. Pause in the center. Let's wait, watch, and observe what stirred up. Notice how freely your breath moves now, or if it does move more freely for you. All pervasive. The whole body is breathing. Good. Bend your knees, bring them to hip width distance. Interlace your hands behind your head. Let's do that same spinal undulation that we did before. So pressing your elbows down, lift your chin, arch your back, take a breath in, and then exhale, curl off the floor. Inhale, lie back, arch. Breath in the heart space and the ribs. Exhale, curl. Good. Inhale, arch. And this time, twisting to one side as you curl off, twisting your elbow to the opposite knee, and then coming back down and arching, and then twisting towards the opposite knee. And twist. And this next time, when you twist off the floor, pause. And now continue rotating, lifting across, coming center towards the midline, still curled up. And now continue to circle out to the opposite side and then slowly lower down. Arch your back, lift your chin, and again, curl off the floor, twisting to the opposite side, hold it. Keep lifting up through the center now and circle over to the other side and come back down. And now let's make it a full circle. Arch the back and round and twist, circling around. Go one direction for the next 3 rounds. Like you're just continuing that circle. And now reversing direction. Circling the other way, still arching in the center, lifting the chin, and then curling up and circling in the opposite direction. Really building Apana Vayu, connecting to power center. Good. And then release, release your arms, release your legs long. Let's pause. Tuning into the inner body, that world of sensation, feeling tingling, flow of energy, breath. Take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale it out of your mouth. Bend your knees once again. Reach your arms up to the ceiling, the real ceiling, not the wall behind you. And then grab a hold of your elbows. Good. And now reach your elbows to one direction. Turn your head in the opposite direction. Inhale and exhale back through center. Or reach your elbows to the other direction. Turn the head opposite. Inhale and exhale. Good. In and exhale. Moving with your breath. Now, the next time your elbows drop to one side, your head turns to one side, go ahead and rotate your knees in the same direction as your head. Inhale, exhale through center. So elbows one way, knees and head the opposite way. And the next time you twist, press the sides of your feet into the floor, little arch of your back, very small. Good. Go ahead and release. Relax your arms, relax your legs, pause. Notice tingling pulsations. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out. Bend your knees once again. I guess we could have stayed there last time, but it's all right. I like to pause and relax. Grab a hold of your elbows once again. This time, eyes open, lock your gaze on your forearms. And this time, your head is going to go with your forearms, as if you don't want to lose sight of them. So rotate your elbows out to the left, turn your head to the left, and now start to circle your forearms up. Lift your chin to gaze at your forearms and then circle out to the right and then down by your belly. Good. Tucking your chin so that you can see your forearms. Circle out to the left and then up and then right and down. You can inhale as you go out and up. Exhale down and around. Making circles with your arms. Notice how you're making a circle with your chin. And you're even circling around the back of your head. Lots of circles and spirals in this practice. And the next time your forearms come down around your belly button, switch direction. Inhaling right, up and down, exhaling around. Good for 3, and 2, and 1. Release, relax your legs and arms long. And just notice sensation, release in the back of your neck, shoulders. Making more space and flow of energy and blood for the power center, the heart to speak to the throat, voice and expression, empowered. Take a breath in, let it go. This next one's really subtle, but then it feels like a lot. So right now your palms are facing up. I want you to now flip your palms to face down. So that's an internal rotation of your arms, but continue to rotate so that your pinky finger side of your arm lifts and the thumb side kind of tacks down. Take a look at the camera if you're not quite sure. And then go ahead and roll back to palms facing up and do it again. Internally rotate, roll in once more. Maybe you could even rotate your pinky finger all the way to the floor again. I can't do that. Good. And once more, rotate in. And now let's rotate out. So palms facing up, press your thumbnail down, lift the pinky side of your arm up, and rotate all the way over again so your palms come, or fingertips come down to the floor. Good. Go ahead and rotate back, and then again, rotate over. Now let's combine the two, rotating down all the way, pinky fingers lift, rotating up all the way, pinky fingers lift, down and up and down and up. Now starting to pick up a little speed and a little more speed and a little more speed and a little more until you feel like a fish flopping around, and just keep rotating through your arm bones faster, faster, faster for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then release. Oh my gosh. Feel all that though, all that flow and release in your arms. If you ever get a massage in your arms, you realize, wow, we can hold a lot of tension there. It's so nice to let it go. Just feel that. Again, connecting power center, heart center to another way that we express ourselves to the world. Our arms and hands. Give hugs. Put up boundaries. Call people in. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. We're basically going to do that same thing with our legs, okay? So I want you to now flex your feet, curl your toes back towards your shins, and rotate both toes out to the side. Try not to bend your knees or lift your hips. And now rotate both legs in. And then rotate out. And then rotate in. Just notice, nice and slow, notice muscles that wake up one side and then the other. Notice if your hips move a little bit. And now we can start to go a little faster, like windshield wipers, and then a little faster. So think of rolling across your heel. Now start to loosen up your legs a little bit and roll faster and faster and faster and faster and faster for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then release. Oh my God. Feel that. That's nice. And the legs. Another way that we express ourselves to the world, but also stand with our feet firmly on the ground, connected to who we are, our strength. Mobilization and motion. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out through your mouth. And slide one arm up by your ear and then roll into that direction on your side. Roll all the way onto your belly. Bend your elbows out to the side. Place one hand on top of the other and place your forehead onto your hands. Let's just rest here for a moment in prone shavasana. And I mean really rest. Let your body just flop, let it go. Giving your body a moment to adjust to this new position. Send your breath into the skin of your belly, softening. Send your breath into your chest, into your breast tissue, softening. As if you're wearing a kid's floaty on your back, kind of around your mid-back, your kidneys. Next time you breathe in there as if you're puffing up that floaty. Puffing up the backs of the kidneys, puffing up the low back and the ribs. Good. Now tuck your toes, pushing the balls of your feet into the floor. The knees lift off the ground. Press the front of your hips down. Push down through your elbows, coil up off the ground, coming into cobra. And as you press down through your elbows, think of lifting your belly button skin up and forward. Coil your spine and the muscles of your back into your body as you lift your heart and draw your shoulder blades down. Let's just breathe here for another 15 seconds. Notice how your body slowly settles into this position the longer you're here. We're not in a hurry. And slowly lower down. Okay. You put your right hand on top of your left, forehead on your hands. And this is kind of what we did on the ground lying on our backs, but now we're doing it the other upside down. So I want you to lift your right elbow away from the floor up into the air. Feel the upper back on the right side engaged. And then lower your right elbow back down. And now switch hands. So slide the right hand on the bottom, left hand on top. And now do the same thing with the left shoulder. Lift your left elbow up off the ground. Feel the shoulder blade muscles engage, and then lower it back down. And then switch your hand. Just go side from side a little bit, a couple times. Noticing any differences from one side to the other. Notice how other muscles in your body are recruited to stabilize. So core, legs, even back muscles. Good. And now with the right hand on top, lift your right elbow up this time and turn your head to the right to look at your elbow. Almost like you're doing the front, is it the front crawl when you're swimming and you're lifting your head up to take a breath? Good. Lower down, switch hands. Now left elbow lifts, turn your head to the left to look. And go from side to side, switching hands, lift your elbow, turn your head. Good. Now we're going to add to this. The next time your right elbow lifts, turn your head, and now lift your elbow and head off the floor. Now we're swimming and we're trying to see what's going on over there. Okay, lower back down. Switch hands. Left elbow lifts, turn your head, and lift both head and elbow away from the floor. Good, lower down. Switch hands. Elbow lifts, turn head, lift, and lower. Moving with your breath, going from side to side. Just notice muscles now in the upper back, the core. So good to wake these up. So good to create length also in the side body. You can feel that stretching at the same time as the strengthening is happening. Right, now we're going to add to this. The next time one elbow lifts and you twist, lift the opposite leg. Opposite leg. Try to keep your legs straight. Inhale and exhale, switch. Lift the elbow, twist, lift the head, lift the opposite leg, and exhale. Moving with your breath. Good, and release, head down, soften, let go. Notice that lighting up of the back of the body. Flow of energy, nourishment, blood. So good. Cross-body diagonal movements are also really good for restoring natural movement patterns and releasing. Let's do one more move here just to solidify everything. Tuck your toes. Push the balls of your feet down. Press the front of your hips down. Push down through your elbows, lifting up. Good. Cobra. Draw the skin of your belly up and forward. Coil the spine into your body. Lift your heart. And slowly lower down. Stay where you are with your head on your hands, and now bend your knees. Lift the soles of your feet up into the air. Now just point your toes to the ceiling, and then flex your feet, spread your toes. Point your toes, and then flex and spread. Feel the skin across the sole of your foot stretch. One more time. Good. Now anchor the front of your pelvis down, press your hips down. Push down through your elbows, coil up. Cobra, Dhanurasana. Pressing down through the pubic bone, the front of the hips. Coil your spine into your body. Let's breathe. And think of really squeezing the backs of your legs, your calves into your hamstrings for 3, 2, and then release down. And feel that release. Let it go. Slide one arm out by your ear and then tuck and roll onto your back. Hug both knees into your chest. Cross one shin over the other, Sukhasana, easy pose. Grab a hold of the sides of your feet and then hug your knees in, nice and close. Just pausing here. Let the glutes, the backs of your legs release, soften. And then switch the cross of your legs. Maybe try to straighten both legs out at the same time. And let it go. Sliding out into your final rest, Shavasana. Extend your legs and arms out long. Allow your eyes to close. And turning on your internal gaze, scan your internal body. Notice that deep anchor, feeling of belonging, connection to the base of your spine, all the way up through the belly, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, all up to the crown of your head. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it at the top. Any remaining energy that you have, just exhale it out so that we can let this practice be absorbed. Imagine now that you are Jello. You just got to let the Jello set, right? Let all that goodness be absorbed into your body. So let gravity take over all the work for holding this pose. Let the earth have your back. Let the weight of your body, your bones sink down, down, down. Soften your skin and muscles over your bones. Your mind may wander and tell you what you should and need be doing. Here's some life advice. Ignore the shoulds, ignore the needs when it's time for your self-care and stillness. These are the moments that give us the longevity, the power, the presence to move through life with ease and grace and love. So I encourage you to stay a few more minutes, 10 minutes if you can. Just let your body rest. Be alive and awake to sensation, marveling at this beauty that life is. I thank you for joining me. Namaste.